Hey besties! Before we dive into the Fang's feelings and full-on chaos, a quick heads up. This episode will contain spoilers from my Golden Blood episode 3. That means characters, plot twists, betrayals, and probably a few emotionally damaging moments. All fair game. So if you haven't watched the episode yet and want to experience the drama firsthand, hit pause, go catch up, then come back with snacks and emotional support. Otherwise, strap in, it's about to get bloody. Okay, episode 3. This one is wild, and not for the reason you might think. We start right where we left off. Mark's been shot, nearly died, and was saved by a drop of Tong's magical sweat. And now they're casually walking back to Mark's mansion like it's just a regular day and not post-vampire shootout drama. Tong has decided dramatically that Mark can protect him until he's 21. He calls Tongkla to tell him he's moving into school housing, translation, a total lie to keep his bestie out of the vampire drama. Tongkla is like, huh? Are you okay? But Tong hangs up before he has to explain. Then, boom, we arrive at Mark's house. And y'all, this is not a house. It's a mansion, like garden, pool, expensive lighting, trees, and vibes that scream billionaire vampire on Pinterest. Also, if you watched BLs for a while, y'all know this house. It's the standard rich boy BL house. Tong's already suspicious and asks if there's a coffin in the middle of the house. And Mark, deadpan as ever, is like, come in and see for yourself. Not comforting. So they step inside and it's stunning. Mark explains that all the old vampire myths, dark castles, coffins, spooky crypts, are fake. Just vampire PR to keep humans guessing, because if vamps really lived in castles, humans would be selling guided tours and posting on TikTok. Then Mark drops this mysterious phrase, tribute room. Tong freezes like he's about to be sacrificed, like we all are thinking Red Room, 50 Shades kind of deal, but no, it's a bedroom. Tong's new bedroom. And Mark already moved all his stuff in. Like, when did you have time to do this, Mark? Tong's brain short circuits for a second. He thinks they're gonna share a bed and he panics. Mark, ever the tease, says, vampires don't sleep, I'll just stay and watch you. Tong's like, absolutely not. He starts setting boundaries. 1 arm's length at all times, no sneaking into rooms, no blood stealing at night. And what does Mark say? If I really wanted to drink your blood, I could do it anytime. Then Tong's like, where's my guitar? And before he can blink, Mark, who had left already, suddenly appears behind him holding it out like he summoned it from the void. Tong jumps like a cat faced with a cucumber and immediately reinforces the rules. No more teleporting, knock next time. Mark just smiles and walks away like the smug 200-year-old he is. That night, Tong goes to bed and has the dream. Mark is sniffing him again. We're talking intense sniffing. Tong is spiraling internally like, he's a vampire, he might kill me, he's dangerous, but also, he's into it. He wakes up in a sweat and sees the big old painting of Mark on the wall. The man is literally watching him from canvas. So Tong takes a post-it and slaps it on the eyes. Not even the whole face, just the eyes. Mood. Meanwhile, Mark is downstairs and senses Tong is having a nightmare after he falls asleep again, because apparently vampire emotional Wi-Fi is a thing. So he sneaks into Tong's room, sits beside him, and checks for a fever while visibly fighting the urge to slurp up Tong's sweat. He's breathing heavy, watching. Then he sees the post-it, laughs internally. You know he did. The next morning, Tong wakes up immediately checks his neck for bite marks, then looks over and sees enemy eyes have been drawn on the post-it. I repeat, anime eyes. Mark is terrifying and hilarious now. He's officially unhinged. Tong is annoyed that Mark entered the room while he was sleeping, but then he goes downstairs and Mark has prepared a whole ass feast. Tong's like, "You're not fattening me up to eat me later, right?" Mark says he ordered food from all the nicest places because, plot twist, he can't taste food. Until now. He takes a bite and has a foodgasm. The flavors, the textures, the seasoning, he's reborn. He grabs Tong's arm like, "Please feed me more." And there's a montage. Mark shoveling food, Tong feeding him. It's giving vampire mukbang date night. Fast forward. Tong is bored. Mark is reading. Tong wants to go shopping. Mark offers to buy him anything, but Tong's like, "You don't know my size." So naturally, Mark whips out a measuring tape and starts measuring him from head to toe. Obviously, practically hugging him the whole time. This is not fashion. This is flirting with the sight of vampire thirst. Like, sir, you do not need to be this close. Then it's workout time. Mark is running. Tong joins in. Tong starts sweating. Mark starts spiraling. Because Tong's sweat is basically vampire cocaine. Mark tries to cope by working out more, but that backfires because now Tong is doing cardio and leaving a trail of pheromone mist across the gym. Mark can barely hold it together. Tong, poor baby, thinks Mark is annoyed and leaves. Q2, Mark sniffing Tong's sweat towel, like, intensely. I wish I were kidding. But again, because he's hot, it's only half creepy. But then Tong walks in and catches him. Awkward. Mark pretends to be annoyed and throws the towel at him. "Next time, put your towel away." Mark, stop projecting. Later, Mark offers to take Tong to work with him. Tong lights up like someone just gave him a puppy. They go to a vampire-run hospital. Yes, really. And Mark is walking around with his sunglasses indoor like some kind of mafia boss. They meet Miss Tara, who is once again floating around in her white dress like a prophetic vampire ghost. She asks to see Tong's hands, comments on the post-it on Mark's painting. Yes, she knows. And drops this bomb. Tong's golden blood might be the key to saving their entire race, but it's also dangerous. She warns Mark, protect him, but don't fall for him. Sure, that's going to be easy. Back at the mansion, Tong is filming a happy birthday message for Miss Noun, the woman who raised him at the orphanage. It's sweet, as a happy birthday song can be. He sees her as his mom, since he doesn't remember his real one. Mark gets all ooey gooey and casually says, "Let's go see her in person instead." So the next morning, they arrive at the orphanage. The kids are thrilled, screaming, hugging, just full-on chaos. Tong is glowing like he's just walked into his happy place. And when the kids start playing basketball and Tong says he can't join in, Mark steps in. He's out here playing with the kids like a supernatural Michael Jordan. Tong watches from the sidelines, fully in his BL drama protagonist feels, heart eyes in full effect. After Mark's played for a while, he sits back down with Tong, and suddenly we're talking about Mark and his before vampire days. We get a flashback. Mark as a child, sick and, well, not a child, like, obviously he looks like he looks now, so adult, but you know, his dad is there, so. He's sick and frail, his father kneeling beside him, praying to banish pain to save him. And just when it feels like hope is slipping, in walks Miss Tara. Elegant and airy as ever, she tells his father she can save him. This is the moment. It's the origin story. Mark becoming a vampire wasn't a power trip, it was survival. And it was lonely. You feel the isolation, the pain, the weight of centuries. And you realize Mark has been carrying this for a long time. Then some heartbreak begins. Miss Noun comes back, and what does Tong find out? Oh, just that she knows Mark. Like, not, oh hey, small world, but full on, deeply involved in the loop knows him. She knows about the vampires. She knew everything. And she was paid. Yes, paid to take care of him. Mark hired her from the very beginning. Tong's entire world just implodes in that moment. He's standing there reeling, realizing what he thought was unconditional love might have been purchased. That his safe haven might just been a mission. And it's not just Miss Noun. The betrayal has layers. Tong turns to Tongclaw too, the one person he thought had no secrets. And now that's crumbling too. He tells Tongclaw that he doesn't need to pretend he loves him. Tongclaw claps back. You should be happy you're the special one. Excuse me? What? That might be a subtitle error, because if he said that, that is wild. Tong is spiraling. Mark finds him. Tong demands to know what's real. Mark confesses he donated money to the orphanage, not just for Tong, but for the kids. And yeah, he's caught feelings, real ones, for the first time in centuries. But not like love feelings, but just like finally feeling anything. And we get another flashback. We're back in the past. Mark's father is old and frail, lying on his deathbed. Mark, still looking like a young man, kneels beside him. His father is dying of old age and literally dies while holding Mark's hand. So, Mark hasn't just lost people, he's lost entire lifetimes. It's the full vampire tragedy package, immortal but cursed to outlive everyone he's ever loved. No wonder he's cold. No wonder he shut down. He tells Tong, I know loneliness. He says Tong doesn't have to stay locked up. He can leave, be free. Later, Tong asks about the necklace he got as a child. Yep, it was from Mark. He tries to give it back and Mark says to keep it. It's his. And then Tong leaves again. Sir, pick a house and stay there, please. Tong returns to the dorm, makes up with Tongclaw. They laugh, they hug. Tong says Tongclaw is his family. Tongclaw demands respect because he's older. Tong's like, absolutely not. That night, we get another dream. Tong wakes up. The room is still dimly lit. Mark is there, standing by the bed like he's never left, like he's always been there. And the way he's standing there, it's giving full Edward Cullen watching Bella sleep energy. You know, the mix of creepy and romantic that only works when you're hot and immortal. Tong doesn't scream, doesn't flinch. They just look at each other. Mark's expression is unreadable. Tong's breathing is shallow and slowly, as if pulled by invisible threads of fate, they lean in closer, closer. And then it happens. They kiss. And then he wakes up, gasping, heart pounding, in his dorm bed, alone. It was a dream. It was a dream. Again. But he's shook. Really shook. Finally at school, it's group project time. Tong has no team. He's alone. Until he sees Mark sitting behind him. Suddenly, like a BL drama main character. Wanna be on my team? End of episode. This episode gave us towel sniffing, betrayal, vampire emotional whiplash, foodgasms, and dream kisses. I'm not okay. Mark is in too deep, Tong is feeling everything, and we are spiraling. Thanks for listening to this absolute roller coaster of my Golden Blood episode 3. If you're obsessed, hit follow, share it with your BL besties, and remember, if a man knows your food order, measures your chest, and draws anime eyes on his own portrait, he's not just obsessed, he's eternally yours. See you in the next one.